Hey everybody, welcome to the live stream lesson. My name is Paul, and today we're going to continue with the second movement of Haydn Cello Concerto in C major. So let's get to work. So the second page of the second movement is, once again, it's the development section, and then it also has the recapitulation. So you will hear a lot of the things that we've talked about in the last lesson of the first page. So if you haven't seen that yet, check it out, and then you can come back to this one. All right. So the second page starts with, as I said before, we're all, see how it's all tenor clef and treble clef. It's a little bit annoying now, but you'll get through it. I think it's a good practice, this piece, for reading tenor clef and treble clef. So yeah. The first section is going to be similar to the beginning. We're not going to use these fingerings. Let me just write the fingerings real quick. All right, so we start now the fifth above where we started, right? So normally we started on the C, now we're gonna start on the G, high G. So same thing as the beginning, right? And one, and so the idea, we're gonna change the bow and then shift up to the harmonic. And then shift to fourth position, 2, 2, and here will be extension, right? So 1 extension, 4, 2, 2 extension. And then we shift back, and then shift up again to fourth position, just like that. And then this will be B, open A, F, F natural, right? Da, da, da. We go to fourth position. You're gonna use a lot of fourth position in this movement, in this concerto in general. So. And then again to harmonic, and then just a normal scale down, and then we're gonna break the slur here. So here, really, we're going to be doing 3, 3 like that. Da, 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 da. In order to land on the down bow here, right? So the reason why I like to do it up and then down is because you're closer to the frog, and your hand, your bow can cross over the four strings more quickly, quicker. So that's the reason why for the break in the slur here, right? Whereas if it takes a lot more movement to drop your bow. So that's the reason why we do it. Another reason why we do that bowing is because the next part starts with an up bow. So I'd consider that new phrase. So let's go with light blue. We'll treat that as a new phrase. All right. So the yellow phrase is the beginning of the development. Basically, the development is taking the main theme of the whatever movement, whatever concerto, and then just putting a little twist to it, right? Making it a little bit more interesting, more difficult, more fancy. So let's go ahead and play through this one. So the orchestra plays before, and then 2 and. Just like that. All right. Now let's go on to the light blue phrase. So the light blue phrase is where, if you take a listen to it, and it also says here, right, con fuoco. So, oh, okay. So just remember that there's a key or clef change, and then it changes back to tenor clef here. All right, so this part, and then for that E flat, we're gonna shift to third position. Right, your first finger is gonna be where that D is. You can tune it with the open D. And then same thing here. So con fuoco means with fire, with so really passionately, right? And the harmony also sounds very intense, right? Right? So the harmony makes it intense. Also, there's expression markings that explicitly tell you to play it with a lot of passion, right? With flame, with fuoco. So that's what that means. So and then we shift to that G, fourth position, da dee dee. down bow, 4. Shift to second position. Right? Da dee 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 dee. And then we shift up. Right there to fourth position again. All right. So, right, we come down, and then on that top G, the last G here, we have a decrescendo to pianissimo, and right next to it, it also says dolce, right? So, basically, there's a lot of contrast here, and I think that this is a good example of what, I don't know, for me, trying to express the differences in different colors, the contrast in different parts, whether that be harmonically or tonally, right? Different effects of sounds. Those are the moments that I think you should try and bring out, and kind of, I don't know, when you're performing this, you kind of have to act as if you're surprised by the music as well, right? So just be aware of that, right? We go from forte con foco, and then we maintain, and then here we go all the way down to pianissimo dolce, right? So, and then it goes back to crescendo and all the way up like that. So here, we have to be very careful with the dynamic. The fingering here is pretty straightforward. It's just a chromatic scale. Bowing is as it comes, pretty much. Here's a fun part. So this is A flat, right? And then supposedly it switches to G sharp, but it ends up being the same note, right? A flat and G sharp are the same note, or it sounds the same. So we actually stay in that same position. So 1, 1, 2, here, 1, 2, stay in 2, we're gonna stay in 2. And then here will be 2, 3. Back. And we switch the first finger on that G. Crescendo a little bit more. Crescendo more, and you arrive here, right, to this part. Right? So think of the dynamic here and the expression markings. I like to think of it as kind of the energy level. Instead of course it translates to volume, right? But think of it as kind of like an intensity, right? So I don't know, like the only imagery I can think of is when you're, boiling water, right? The water's hot already, and if you keep it on low flame, right, it's still boiling technically, but it's on a very low simmer, right? Whereas if you have the high flame, the water starts to boil over and have a lot more intense reaction, right? So think of dynamics as that, like intensity. You're adding flame, you're adding energy to the music, and that just gives it more, I don't know, excitement for you and for the listeners and for the other musicians that's playing, right? And I think that's one of the things that concertos is difficult, is because you're the soloist, even though the orchestra has a conductor, right? Technically, you as a soloist is leading the orchestra. So that's another thing that's a little bit more complicated. Maybe that'll be a discussion on its own. So yeah, let's keep on going. So now we're here. And then, so here, what I mean by that is here, you're on fourth position, but if you play it in tune, you're gonna hear that the A string starts to vibrate as well. And then you can kind of take advantage of that to switch the string. So the bowing here is going to be like this. Right? One, two, two, three. Instead of 4, we're gonna go with 2, 2, 1. I know it's a little bit repetitive, like. But if you do it right, it sounds way smoother than going 1, 2, 4, right? And here the fingering does say 1, 2, 2, 3 anyway. And then I would just stay there and 2, 2. Right? Ba, ba, ba. That's supposed to be a arrow down. So we go. So this first time we play that, it's forzando, right? Second time is going to be piano. And instead of playing that scale up on the A string and legato, we're gonna play this on a different position. So this time we're gonna go up the D string, right, for that beat. So B here, C sharp here, D will be harmonic, and then basically it's the thumb position there. So your thumb's going to be barring the A and the E. And then here, after you cross the string, E, and then F, natural. And then here, here's what I do. So I stay in the thumb position here instead of going back to the fourth position. It may be annoying, but just a reminder that in the third movement, you're basically playing the entire thing in thumb position. So might as well get used to it. I'm sorry, it doesn't get any easier. All right, so once again, another example of how contrast works, right? So there's a lot of things at play here in this line. So sforzando, right? First time. Second time, what we're doing is we're also playing here down on higher up on the D string, right? So that already gives it a slightly different color. On top of that, it's supposed to be piano, right? And then, right? So the fingering as well as the dynamic marking, it already kind of points toward what kind of sound you should go for. And the only way is you just have to repeat it and kind of explore. Right? So another thing to note here, this transition from harmonic to a thumb. So in general, when you're crossing from D string to A string, the A string is going to sound a lot more louder because it's higher up, it's brighter sounding, right? Just psychoacoustically, naturally it just sounds louder, right? So whenever you're doing that string crossing, try to play the notes on the A string a little bit less, right? So for example, if I just play with the same force on the bow, you can kind of hear that the notes on the A jump out, right? So basically just have all the notes sounding evenly, so that none of the notes kind of stick out volume wise, right? And then we finally chained. Oh, wrong. So let's change the color here. All right, so new color, let's do green. So here, we're basically continuing, right? I'm making a, okay, I won't change the color because it's still, I consider it still part of the phrase before. So, the bowing here, sorry, is going to be down, up, down. We start the scale up bow. Right. And then we just go up to the second finger for that A. And then harmonic, and then fourth finger. And then here, we're going to do this. We're going to do 4, and then 4. So here we have second finger on the A. And then here, the dynamic is forzando, right? Still. And then harmonic, fourth position, second position. So here, we just go back up the same way. So just go shift up to the fourth position, right? 2, 1, 2, 4. There should be a line here. And then so harmonic, harmonic, and then shift to second finger. And here, let me just consult my notes. Yeah. We end on a down bow, and then we do another down bow. So we repeat that same thing. And we're not actually doing the thing here. And I'll explain why. Two, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, right? So 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and then back the same way we came down, I mean. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 4, thumb 1, 2, 3, and then here we go to the first finger here. So right, so we land on thumb again here. So same thing, except the bowing we're going to separate instead of slur. That's the only difference here second time through. So if we review the fingering, harmonic 4, 2, 1, 2, 1, harmonic, and then down, right? And it helps that we're already out on the tip. Like that. So piano. And then sforzando all over again, right? And then here. 2, 1. Instead of playing harmonic, we're actually pushing it down this. And then separate the bow. Right, and here. So we're now we are not doing that. We are doing down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, harmonic on the D string. That's basically the entire development section. Here. Alright, so if we go from, you know what, let me just quickly switch the colors. Let's do green. So I think here it'll be better if we actually switch it to green. It's different enough, right? In terms of difficulty and phrasing, I think, yeah, it's worth it to change the color. But it should be a bracket on its own. Okay, so that's a green section. We're calling it green section now. Sorry for the confusion. Alright, so green, harmonic. And then down again, right? Oh, sorry. It's from first finger, it's half step, and then whole step. Right? A, B flat, and C. We do 2-1 here. As well as a down up. So, fourth position, 2, 2, and then here I would suggest doing the trill here, E and F natural with 1 and 2. And then that grace note, I do it on the D string here as a harmonic, like that. All right. So until there, I think it's pretty straightforward. It's just a bunch of scales in the end, right? So practice your scales. So let's keep on going. So we're here, right? Harmonic. And then stay in position there, and then let's keep on going. This is what I would call the transition section, right? We had that section in the first page as well. So here we're gonna go up. E flat with second finger. Your first finger is going to be on that harmonic, right? So we're replacing the harmonic with first finger. E flat, and then C flat. So here it's going to be open. Just think about it octave down, right? So E flat, C, it's going to be whole step apart and one string apart, right? So to stay in position. So this is all in that position, where the first finger is our anchor. So if you can find harmonic D with or A with your first finger, that's the position that we're in. So here, A, B flat, B natural, we just shift up. And then here, 2, 3, C. And then instead of going, we're gonna maintain that position, and then we're gonna play from that G as a thumb, because it's just easier, right? Just stay in position, and we're going to play B flat, right? And then just same thing. 2 1 1, 3 2 1. Down bow, right? Shift up, B flat or B natural, C, and then G with the thumb, and then maintain that position, and then next line, thumb. So here, what I like to think is it's going to be restes, right? So you're going to keep the thumb on the G, and then I replace the B flat with first finger, and then whole hold there. That's the that note that we're going for, right? D. And then F is, it's going to be an open sixth. And here I also separate the bow. And then we go back to normal position. So we were in restes, right? And then normal thumb position. So E, G, B natural, C. So the reason why I break the bow there is because of the string crossing, as well as the dynamic, right? I think it's better if we're maintaining the mezzo forte. It's a difficult place to make it sound good. The cello at that range in this position isn't too nice. And that's gonna be our development. All right, so the ending of the green sounds like this. So we're going, let's do it from this trill. So the ending of the green section. And then pianissimo, E flat, 2, and 2 and 1 and 2 and then we go back to the main theme, right? So that's our development. Let's just take a quick listen to how everything sounds together. Here, I think there really isn't much to talk about in terms of fingering. Everything is pretty scale-like. Lots of just scales, basically. High position scales, thumb position scales. So, yeah, practice your scales. All right, so let's try the development section. So from yellow until end of green. All right, 2 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and pianissimo transitions. And two and one and two and dun dun and let's go. And two and one and two and one and. So as you can hear, the concerto, the movement returns back to the main theme, right? As we talked about before, the form of this concerto, all the movements are in sonata allegro form. So it'll be the exposition, recapitulation, which we just played, and then it goes back to recapitulation. So the only thing we have left to learn now is the recapitulation. So let's take a quick look at it. What color should I put? Let's go with purple. Alright, so we start on, I like to start on the D string. Let me just write the fingerings down here. So here, and it's the same. As you can see, it's the same basically as the development, right? Same fingering. It's the same fingering. This will be an uppo. So, and 4, 2, 2, 1, F natural, B flat, and then we go to E, harmonic, and here you have an option. You can just do how it's written, right? If you want to spice things up a little bit, you can do this. So basically that. So so it's a little bit more dramatic, adds a little bit more motion, right? We go to the A string. So we end there. So that's the opening statement, right? Now, of the main theme. So we know for a fact that we're back in the recapitulation. So, yeah, really it's the same thing. That bowing is really the only thing that's different. So here we're gonna go to third position. this is a B flat, right? So. Hey Alex, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, man, good luck. It's a difficult piece. It sounds deceptively easy because it's so pretty. But yeah, it's a hard piece because of all the thumb positions. So practice your thumb position scales. Ta, ta, ta. And here we go back to that theme, right? Right? In the first page, it was that. Let me refer to, or wrong place. So, right? The purple section here, right? In the first page. So this is a callback into that section, right? So this part is particularly difficult because we have to jump all the way up to, so here, let's mark it out, right? Like, what color should I do? Let's do blue. No. Alright, so we end here, right? So we have to go all the way up to here. It says C. We're now in treble clef. C, and your other thumb is basically gonna be the F down here, and then that too, which is also a harmonic. So that's another way you can find that position, is the harmonic. This harmonic. So here I do down and up like that. I divide like that. Makes your life easier. Do tie this, like we tie over here. Maintain the thumb. Alright, so the easiest way to find that position that I found is, so basically you're basically mapping out where you have to land your thumb, right? So harmonic, you know more or less is going to be here, right? So you place that, and then you place your thumb, and then F natural. I imagine F natural, just because it's, you know, you're moving also across the D string. So I imagine where the second finger, F natural, will be, and then I shift it up to there. And then hopefully you'll be right on the spot. You can tune it with the C. So that's really hard. So that's what I do, right? You can hear that I'm kind of just also slapping the finger down to hear maybe what the note possibly can be. So that shift is particularly difficult. Also, when you land, you have to land solid. In terms of your thumb needs to be very, have really good contact with the fingerboard. So there's a lot of things that are difficult right from the get-go of this spot. So yeah. So tap, tap, And then so here, same position, right? It's just going to be a major scale. So the same thing applies from the first page, only it's higher up, so the tension is going to be a lot higher. The pressure required is going to be a lot higher. So do the exercise that I told you about, right? Just press down. See how I'm closing my fingers? That's so you don't have support from your other fingers. You're just developing this muscle, right, on the thumb. So basically just try and just push down on the string just with your thumb. Push it down, hold it for like 5 seconds, you know, and then let go. Push it down, let go. And repeat that maybe like 5 times, you know, a day. Think of it like doing push-ups, right? The more you do it every day, the more resistance, the more endurance you will develop, right? And also the strength required to push down on the strings, right? The higher you go up, the closer to the bridge, the more tense the string becomes, right? So just be aware that it's very uncomfortable to tune here. So here I do the same fingering as before. I go to the thumb. And then for this scale down, we're actually going to be in the regular default thumb position. It's going to be pretty easy. So, you can find it with the A here, second finger. And then C sharp, D. And then here, from D to C natural, just shift down. Right? This, because it's going to be a normal scale down. Basically, I slur all the way over to that D. And then that C will be on the G string very briefly. And it's just a scale, right? It's just a scale up. C, B flat, C, shift up. And then here, extend back your first finger. And we're gonna do double up over there. One, two, three, thumb, low one. Oh, whoops. Oh no, yeah, I was right. I forgot that we were in treble clef. So we're gonna do up bow on the C. And then C, C, double up bow. So here, that E is going to be with the 3, 2, 1. Then we're going to shift to 3 here in order to play these in the thumb position. So 3, 2, 1, thumb. Then trill with 1 and 2. So we're right, whole, down to B flat, right? Your second finger is going to be on the A harmonic, and then like that. Oh, oops, wrong color. Ah! Alright, so here is another fake out, right? The first page we did it before, right before the at the ending of the first the exposition, right? So what I mean by fake out is sorry, harmonically you can end right there, right? So harmonically, you can technically end it there, but Haydn wants to extend it a little bit further, right? And then we go the restes once again. So C. And then we're gonna separate the bow here. Oh. And same thing here. We're going to do the normal thumb position, right? So, so here. That to reach that D or C, excuse me, you can think of it like putting the first finger on the A here, and then A, B, minor third up, right? Two for that chromatic shift up, which sets us up for this. For that position, right? So, oh, sorry. Yeah. Here, same thing, we do this. Oh. that. So 3 slurred and then 3 and then 1 slurred over. And then same fingering as before here, right? Same fingering here. So 3rd finger on C, thumb, 1, 2, 3, thumb, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, like that. So here you're just shifting up to that 1st finger on the D. And then here is the true ending, I guess. Here, E, you can find it with the harmonic, right? 3. So here you have 2 options. You can go and then shift down like that. Just the same fingering, right? So I'm gonna write both the fingerings. I would say let me write the alternate fingering will be in the parentheses. The fingering I use is going to be on top. So here I go to sorry. Yeah, sorry. 2, 1, thumb, 1. So we shift down, whole step. So we're in the normal thumb position. And then we stay in that position, right? If you follow the alternate fingering, it'll be, and then you shift down, shift up. So it's basically going to be the same fingering in the last 2 beats, but I'll show you what my fingering does. So that's going to be the alternate fingering if you play everything on the A string. But you're also welcome to do this. So basically stay in the regular thumb position and just play everything out there. Right? And then the last 2 is the same. Okay. Let's do that last section a little. Let's turn it orange. So what I do regular thumb position. And then here. And then. So I just stay put in position. So the hard part will be moving your second finger fast enough from F sharp to C natural. But it's pretty straightforward. It shouldn't be too difficult. Right? E flat, C, or E flat, D, C sharp, D. And then F, E, D. You can tune that E. And that's the ending of, almost the ending. So that will be the ending of the movement right before the cadenza, right? So let's quickly take a look at the all of the recapitulation, right? So from the purple until the orange. So here you are playing the main theme, but it's the second time, right? The audience is going to recognize it. So it's kind of like you have to, it already evokes a sense of nostalgia, quote unquote, even though it happened like 10 minutes or 5 minutes ago, right? But that sense of recognition gives that, oh, I know what's going on. And you're essentially playing with the audience's emotion there. So try to, even though you're playing the same motifs, try to find ways to make it different, right? Contrast, as I said before. All right, so let's try to recap from purple till orange. 2 and 2 and 1 and 2 and chain. Don't do that glitch. Alright, so some out of tune notes on my part, excuse me. But so basically, if you're out of tune, it just means that you're overextending, overdoing the motions. Practice everything slowly. How I'm playing here is very fast. Mainly because I already played this piece before, so I already know how to play it, I guess. So it's easier for me at this point. But when you're learning it, try to learn it slowly. Literally note by note, try to learn like that. And I think you'll be fine. All right, let's move on to the cadenza. So cadenza starts here, and we end here, right? All right, so let's take a look. So we end, and then the orchestra ends with you. I would go up bow here, not down bow. So here, rhythmically, you have all the freedom of the world. You're by yourself here. It's a cadenza, so it's your opportunity to shine as a soloist, even more so because it's literally by yourself playing, right? So, have fun with it. You don't have to play it so square and so metronomically, right? This is that rare occasion where we kind of get to bend the time a little bit. So, piano. So basically, even though it's ad-lib, right, with a lot of rubato, you still need to kind of feel the triplets, right? I don't know how you just mark out that those groups are together. Rhythmically, it's still going to be kind of stretched out, but just feel that group. That's just those are grouped together. And then we shift to first finger, 2, 3. All right. I don't do that. That sounds weird. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong place in my notes. So these are going to be all above. So like this. Like that. Up, 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 up. Down, pull. So. Because you gotta save until here, until there, right? So, let's just make a quick mark here, right? there, right? And then I do 1, 2, 2, like that. 1, 2, 2. Ah. 1, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 4. So. Don't change the finger here. Don't do that. Alright, so da, da, 4, and then harmonic, harmonic. Four, 1, 1, 3. Alright, so this is pretty easy. So 4, 1, shift to first finger on the G, and then that B flat is just going to be minor third up from that G. So right? So just bunch of noodling. This one's a little bit tricky. Alright, so it's a lot of noodling. So so there at the very ending, so harmonic, your thumb is going to be on that F natural, and then C with the first finger. Tune that fourth, right? And then basically you're going to shift your thumb up to where that first finger was. So your thumb is now doing C and then G, right? And then it's going to the B flats will be with your second finger. And then here is C to C octave. Right? So this is a little bit tricky, but I think y'all will manage. It's the difficult part is shifting from here to there. And then then the ending, right? I guess you can do down and up here. Alright, so the entire cadenza goes like this. The cadenza that's in the music here goes like this, right? Sorry, I can't read the fingerings. Let's try that one more time. So that's how the cadenza goes. How you're going to cue in the orchestra is that last trill, right? So here, when you do the da dee da dee dee doo, I guess it's. But I don't know. If you want to do the grace note and immediately to G trill, that's fine. I guess I like how I like starting the trill from A, right? Da dee da da da, repeat da da da, repeat the A. Like that. It's your choice. You don't have to follow my suggestions. They're just suggestions. Yeah, all the fingerings and bowings here are the ones I've been taught and the one I find useful. So remember that these are only suggestions. You don't have to follow them. But these are highly recommended fingerings. Okay? Alright, so how you cue the orchestra is when you play da dee da 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 da, when you start doing the when you start doing the trills, the orchestra is going to play. Someone's going to play half note, and then another part in the orchestra is going to play eighth notes, right? One, dun, 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 like that. So basically what happens is, and two, and right? So that's how the cadenza goes, and that's how the second page goes. So hopefully this helped you. Let's play through it. Actually, we're gonna play this entire page, or at least I'll try to play without making a mistake. And I'll try and say some commentaries, like counting beats or expression marks and things like that. I may make a mistake because I'm talking. If I do, excuse me, pardon me. Alright, so let's try to play the second page of Haydn C Concerto, second movement. And we'll start from the development, which is the yellow section. All right, 1 and 2 and 2 and 1 and 2 and So that's how the second page of the second movement goes. So one of the big tips I wanted to say is bow control. This movement is all about bow control and also thumb position, obviously, right? But so the most obvious example would be that long note. So the trick to holding the long notes are just playing closer to the bridge, right? So the idea is also, if you can play that up bow more than the duration of 2 measures, like if you can hold that up bow for like 3 bars and still have it sound good, right? So basically, you have to experiment with your bow placement. That's gonna be the key in this movement. Another thing you can work on or utilize in terms of having more contrast in the music, in the musicality, you can vary your vibrato style, or not style, but vibrato width, vibrato speed, and things like that. Yeah, so that'll be all for today. Thank you for tuning in, and hopefully next time I'll be looking at the third movement. I gotta practice it first. So thanks for tuning in, and hope this all helped, and I will see you next time. All right, happy practicing. Bye.